Have you ever had that experience? You know a song like Inside Out, and then you see the music video, and bam, suddenly it's just more. It feels different, bigger somehow. That's really the magic we're talking about today.
Yeah, so today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that. We're looking at the 25 greatest music videos of all time based on this really great compilation by Jacqueline Schneider over at Forbes. It's not just a countdown, it's digging into how visuals have totally changed how we connect with music.
Absolutely. And that's our mission for you today. We're kind of taking a journey looking back at decades of visual storytelling. It's not just about entertainment. It's about understanding how these little films actually reshaped music, how we feel about artists. Think of it as maybe a shortcut to getting a handle on a huge cultural shift. It's wild when you think about it. I mean, from its roots before MTV, seriously, there were animated things set to music, like over 100 years before MTV even existed, right up to YouTube, just dominating everything now. We're going to unpack how visuals became, as the article puts it, the primary mode of transit for the cultural penetration of music. Pretty powerful stuff.
And the videos chosen here, it's important to note, they weren't picked just because they were popular. The criteria focused on the most visually unique, memorable, and niche sounds. These are works that really created an art form,
Yeah.
infiltrated different genres, and opened up totally new ways for artists to express themselves. They built those deeper connections that we were talking about. It's about the innovation, the impact.
Okay, let's dive in then. Let's rewind to, well, the Big Bang moment, really. 1981, MTV flickers onto screens, and the first thing they play. Kind of ironic, isn't it?
Yeah, Video Killed the Radio Star by the Bugles.
Exactly. A song written, back in '79, before music videos were even really a thing in the mainstream, and boom, it becomes the first song played on the channel dedicated to them.
It's almost too perfect, right? But it immediately highlights the huge shift MTV represented. Music wasn't just something you heard anymore, it was something you watched. And that visual element created, well, deeper connections to music and the artists behind the music. You saw them, their world, their story. It was a whole new level of immersion.
And the 80s, man, the 80s just ran with it. So much creativity, so much tech innovation popping up. When you talk about boundary pushing, you kind of have to start with Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer. It's 1986. Still just blows my mind.
Oh, definitely. Sledgehammer is iconic, one of the most memorable videos for
Yes.
sure. But it wasn't just like visually cool for the sake of it. It was the way it used things like claymation, stop motion animation, and pixelation.
Yeah, how it all came together.
Exactly. It integrated these incredibly time-consuming techniques into the song's theme of, transformation and energy.
Right.
Every single frame felt deliberate, telling that story from images of conception right through to faces made of fruit and vegetables. It wasn't just effects, it was serious artistry, expanding what a video could even be.
You can feel that commitment. And speaking of commitment and visual impact, just a few years later, Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation in '89, that just completely changed the game for choreography in videos.
It absolutely did. It put choreography on the map, no question. But it was more than just amazing dancing. That whole setting, the abandoned industrial warehouse, the unisex military-inspired sets, that was a deliberate choice.
And her label wasn't keen initially, right?
That's the thing. They apparently attempted to persuade the artist to take the visual in another direction. But she stuck to her vision. It showed artists using video to make a statement, push back against purely commercial instincts. That video wasn't just dance, it was about unity, discipline, a complete artistic package.
Such a powerful statement. And you can't talk about 80 tonally 90s iconic videos challenging norms without Madonna's Vogue, 1990. The inspiration itself is so significant.
Oh, absolutely. Vogue came straight out of the underground ballroom scene in New York, pioneered by the LGBTQIA community. And filming it in black and white, genius. It focused everything on the movement, the fashion, the expression on the dancers' faces.
Yeah, it stripped away distraction.
Right. It actively challenged sexuality and gender norms, pushing this message of being true to yourself, finding power in movement and style. It took this incredible art form from the margins right into the global spotlight. Huge impact.
These early ones really showed the potential. And it wasn't just these massive productions either. The 80s had so much variety, like David Bowie's Let's Dance from '83.
Yeah, filmed down in Australia featuring students from Sydney's Aboriginal Islander Dance Theatre. Really beautiful, almost documentary-style shots of the dancers, using the video to showcase culture.
Or Prince's When Doves Cry in '84.
Right.
Just dripping in purple, right?
Totally. So much sensuality, creative freedom, those symbolic doves flying around. Very Prince, very cinematic, pure self-expression.
And then, completely different, but still so '80s, Dolly Parton's 9 to 5. The big hair, the office grind.
Huh, yeah. Big city corporate life and shuffling papers.
Yeah.
It perfectly captured the story of standardized work, a pop song with a bit of social commentary baked into the visuals. All these different threads were already there, hinting at what was coming.
That really sets us up nicely for the 90s because that's where things just seem to explode creatively. So much freedom, genres blurring, and definitely digging into some deeper, sometimes darker stuff.
Yeah, the 90s were fascinating. You saw videos really infiltrating genres more deeply, and visuals started popping up that felt more analog, disparate from mainstream, grittier, more experimental looks and stories became way more common. Directors and artists just got bolder.
And they tackled some heavy themes head on. TLC's Waterfalls from '94 is such a powerful example. Visually stunning, sure, with the group turning into liquid in that waterfall set.
Yeah, that movie magic was amazing.
But it was directly talking about really tough stuff. Drug addiction and the HIV/AIDS crisis. How did those visuals make that work?
Well, the visual innovation was key. It let them handle these super sensitive topics with both seriousness and this kind of artistic grace. Seeing them as liquid holograms wasn't just a cool effect. It sort of symbolized how fragile life is, how people get caught up in these things. It made the message hit harder emotionally, using high-tech visuals for a very human story. Masterful blend.
It really was. Okay, shifting from that kind of social depth to just pure visual inventiveness. Jamiroquai's Virtual Insanity, 1996. You got to talk about The Floor. It's still one of the most memorable music videos of all time.
Oh, absolutely. That floor on wheels look.
Yeah.
The genius of it, directed by Jonathan Glazer, was how simple the actual trick was.
Right, it wasn't the floor moving.
Nope. The walls and the furniture moved on tracks around JK. Impeccable timing and choreography of the set itself created this amazing illusion that he was gliding. And it wasn't just a gimmick. It perfectly matched the lyrics about technology and the sort of emotional chaos that comes with change. The visual became the metaphor. Just brilliant.
So clever. Okay, another totally distinct visual style from that era, Missy Elliott. Specifically, The Rain, Super Duper Fly, in '97. She really grew her brand by staying steadfast in her creative approach, and that video cemented her look.
Definitely. And Hype Williams directed that one, right? Him and Missy were such a perfect match.
Yeah, the article mentions his quintessential video style.
Exactly. That unforgettable fisheye lens, bright lights, and maximalism. It was everywhere in 90s hip-hop. But with Missy, especially her in that giant patent leather trash bag-esque suit, it was about celebrating her unique persona. She wasn't trying to fit any mold. She was just Missy. Bold, creative, and Williams' visuals just amplified that perfectly.
And the 90s also amped up the protest element in videos. Rage Against the Machine's Bulls on Parade '96. That felt raw.
Oh, yeah. It was described as one of the original forms of protest music to reach the mainstream. And the video didn't pull punches about the U.S. military's aggressive tactics.
And didn't they get banned from SNL around that time?
They did, because of an incident involving an American flag during their performance. It just shows how potent their message, both musical and visual, was. It was a direct challenge. The lyrics, weapons, not food, not homes, not shoes, paired with those visuals. Powerful stuff. It proved videos could be a serious platform for dissent.
Absolutely. And speaking of challenging things, but maybe with more humor, the Beastie Boys Sabotage from '94, that felt like a mini-movie.
Totally. Spike Jonze directed that one too, right? It was such a perfect send-up of those 1970s crime dramas like Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah, the analog coloring, the intentionally bad acting.
It was hilarious, but also smart. And it still ruffled feathers. MTV apparently asked them to cut a knife fight scene, so even parody could push buttons and get censored. Shows how videos were becoming this contested space, critically acclaimed, but sometimes deemed too edgy.
There were so many other huge ones, too, like Soundgarden's Black Hole Sun, '94. So weird and visually striking.
Oh, yeah. Trippy, warped, clown-like post-apocalyptic characters in suburbia. Definitely memorable. Won awards for Best Metal Hard Rock Video.
Or Tom Petty's Mary Jane's Last Dance, '93. Kind of creepy, right? With Kim Basinger.
Yeah. Disturbing video burned into the minds of early MTV and VH1 viewers. Petty is the morgue assistant taking her home. Basinger apparently said playing dead was one of the hardest things she'd ever done because she had to be completely weightless.
Wow. And then the sheer scale of Guns N' Roses' November Rain, '92.
One of the most expensive ever, right?
Yeah.
Just under $3 million.
Yeah. Slash's solo outside the church, Stephanie Seymour. It was like a rock opera on screen. Wedding, funeral, rain, drama, peak GNR excess.
And we should also mention groups like De La Soul with Me, Myself, and I from '89, kind of bridging the '80s and '90s.
Good point. They were pioneers of a new sound in hip-hop.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And their videos reflected that fun and notable impact, positive lyrics, upbeat sounds, and bright visuals showed a different side of hip-hop culture visually.
So connecting the dots here for the 90s, you really see videos becoming these complex narratives, exploring darker stuff, amplifying counterculture, using tech in new ways. It wasn't just an ad for the song anymore. It was like central to the whole artistic statement.
Precisely. It solidified the music video as this vital art form, capable of huge spectacle like November Rain or really intimate, gritty stuff too. It became integral to how an artist was perceived.
Which leads us perfectly into the 2000s and beyond, because technology obviously just kept accelerating, letting music and videos reach, well, everyone, everywhere. And the elephant in the room here is
YouTube.
YouTube, launched in 2005. How much did that change the game, it feels like? Completely.
Oh, fundamentally, it really asks the question, how did this platform just democratize everything? Suddenly, it wasn't just MTV deciding what you saw. Anyone could upload, anyone could watch. Global access, instantly. The gatekeepers kind of lost their power overnight.
And the numbers just became staggering. You absolutely have to talk about Psy's Gangnam Style, 2012. That wasn't just a hit song. It was a global event.
Unbelievable phenomenon. The first video ever to hit 1 billion views on YouTube. What was it? About 500,000 views on its first day alone.
Yeah, and now it's over 5 billion. What was it about that video?
It was just pure virality distilled. Catchy song, yes, but also that ridiculous, easy-to-copy dance, the bright colors, the humor.
Yeah.
It crossed all language barriers. It proved you could become a global superstar almost entirely through one video, bypassing the old system.
And that power of pure shareability continues, right? Even with Baby Shark.
Yeah, the kid song from 2017. Now, the most watched video on YouTube with over 14 billion views. Driven by that viral dance trend, participation is key in this era.
But it wasn't just about viral dances. High production values also soared, like Taylor Swift's Bad Blood, featuring Kendrick Lamar in 2015.
Right, directed by Joseph Kahn. That had a real movie-like quality. Huge A-list cast of characters, big action sequences.
And it broke records immediately, didn't it?
Yeah, breaking Vivo's 24-hour viewing record, it got 20.1 million views in its first day. Shows the power of event-driven releases and star power in the digital age.
Alongside these massive hits, though, artists kept using video for really bold artistic statements. Kendrick Lamar's Humble from 2017 visually, that video is just packed with meaning.
It really is. Directed by Dave Meyers and the Little Homies, it brings a story to life about humility through these incredibly striking symbolic images.
Like Kendrick dressed as the Pope or that Last Supper reenactment.
Exactly, or lying on the table of money, shooting cash out of a cannon. Billboard nailed it, calling it a poignant exercise in irony, an anti-conformist. It's layered, demands attention, invites interpretation. It's visual art, period.
And artists could also be way more provocative online than maybe on TV. Erykah Badu's Window Seat from 2009 feels like a prime example.
Oh, definitely. That was performance art captured on video. Filmed guerrilla-style, voyeuristic, as she slowly strips naked walking through Dealey Plaza in Dallas where JFK was assassinated before that shocking ending.
Yeah, incredibly bold.
It was a direct, raw statement, something that probably wouldn't have flown on mainstream TV. But the internet provided that platform for confrontational art. It pushed the function of a music video.
And sometimes the boundary pushing was more about the aesthetic, the mood, like Tyler, the creator's Yonkers video in 2011.
Right, his debut video, that really caught people off guard. So stark, just him on a stool, black and white, that cockroach.
Yeah.
And then the ending.
Yeah, tense.
It showed this dark and creative side, launched him and his odd future crew on the map. Really raw, unsettling vibe, used the simplicity to create maximum impact online.
And we also see the continuation of video as short film, Flying Lotus's Until the Quiet Comes, 2012. That wasn't just a video, it was a short film.
By Khalil Joseph, yeah. An incredible artist whose films often explore the African-American experience. Paired with Flying Lotus's ethereal electronic sounds, it created something deeply cinematic and resonant.
And it won at Sundance, right?
It did. The Short Film Special Jury Prize. That really says something. These works are being recognized as legitimate cinema, far beyond just being music promotion.
We should probably also mention Daft Punk's Around the World from 1997 here, directed by Michel Gondry. Even though it's 90s, its influence feels huge globally, especially for dance music visuals.
Good call. That video absolutely opened up a whole new world for dance music on a global scale. Just that one single set. But with all those different characters, robots, skeletons, swimmers moving in perfect synchronicity, choreographed by Blanca Lee, it was hypnotic, unique, and showed how visual patterns could embody electronic music.
So, when we look back at this whole journey, what does it all mean? From MTV's first broadcast to billions of YouTube views, it's been quite a ride.
Well, I think this deep dive really shows how music videos have just kept evolving, right?
Mm.
They adapted to every new technology, pushed creative limits constantly. They went from being maybe an afterthought or just promotion to something that truly fosters those deeper connections between artists and fans.
Yeah.
They shape culture.
Totally. You see the conceptual leaps in the 80s, the social commentary and artistic grit of the 90s, and then this explosion of global reach, viral hits, and really sophisticated filmmaking in the YouTube era. It's just a massive testament to creativity, finding new ways to blend sight and sound.
Exactly. Which leads us to maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. We've seen this evolution from hand-drawn animation concepts way back when through MTV to digital virality and art films. Considering how fast things change, what do you think the next big leap in music visuals will be? What's the next Sledgehammer or Gangnam Style? And how will it change our relationship with music all over again?